man. And duo.
The switch is underpowered.
Yeah, they might be crazy. When I get back on the mic. Man, they ain't got no power.
This shit was doomed.
So much money.
They never make it.
Oh man, we gotta check this. Just touched down. Yep. Here we go. All the haters throw the dust on me. Wait a minute. Let me brush it up, B. Y'all talk about all the millions. Let me check a bank account, homie. Yeah, I made $1 billion. My walk is mean, you catch my vision. A different path, I'm on a mission. Gay media, talking division. For others trying to take my position. Status quo, you stay the same. Stay in my lane, but I changed the game. That's true. Tell the truth, you should be saying my name. Cause without me, you would be playing the thing. Yep. Most of y'all wanted to see me stumble. Behind my back, yo, I hear the grumble. Now that the sun came out and the rain clouds gone, now y'all wanna sing my song? Ain't Jen yet, it brought y'all misery. Now you wanna rewrite my history. And now with the 1-2 switch, you afraid of my hits? Now I got the industry unlit. Check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, now you're on my hit list. Nintendo's back in business. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. So why don't you mind your business? Cause the industry's gonna talk about is my hit list.
Alright guys, what's going on here? This is your boy Liger, one half of N-Duo. I don't know if I did a mic check this year or not. Just been so busy doing so many different things. But I have to do this video right here because of the usual nonsense. Now, you guys know that I did a video, right? And for those who's gonna come to this video, because of what I'm gonna name it, right? I like gaming, but I see the writing on the wall. I am a Nintendo fan. Yeah, call me a fanboy. I don't care. That does not hurt my feelings because again, I'm a fanboy of a lot of things that have not done me wrong. And I have also called out Nintendo's negativeness as well too. So I'm just a regular person, but some people always look at it this way. But I have done and this is not me going against this big channel for clickbait and this and all this stuff. This ain't no clickbait. This is just why I do things. I just see the craziness that people talk about, and nobody wants to take accountability, and nobody want to do things. Now we're going to be talking about a topic that I've been proving right over and over and over again. So I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I'm just, since people have short memories, and again, my channel's not big, so it's understandable, it's cool. But I gotta do this mic check. Really, I do. It's annoying. It's annoying to me. So I want to just show this a little bit, get a little bit more preemptive, then we get into the video. So this right here, I want to say, I've give 2 videos. This was 2 weeks ago. I was back to back with each other. I did one of the many reasons I love video games. And I talked about it positively and in that regard. And then right behind it came why gamers say and do the weirdest things. Because in this video, they say something crazy and got me kind of like, Another thing is, you can see down here, this corner right here, where it says, I hate gamers now, right? Which I did a version 2 of it. But this was a video that I did 5 years ago because of gamers, basically, like any other people, they destroy their own hobbies. And that's why I did that video. That's literally why I did that video. But just point out this, and again, you can see on the screen, I talk about PlayStation. I talk the PlayStation State of Play. I didn't talk negative about it. Didn't talk negative about some of these things in a way. All right. Now, I am a subscriber. I'm into that. I am a subscriber to multiple, because I have different channels, to multiple Linus Tech channels. I do like Linus Tech videos, tech tips, and his, I think it's Short Circuit or the other one. I like it. I learn stuff from there. I'm not saying I don't. There's some stuff I learn because nobody's perfect. I'm ignorant to a lot of things, and I know that, and so are you. Ignorant doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means that you're not knowledgeable on a lot of things. So, but I do want to talk about this video right here, which I'm gonna bring up. Let me see. Let me make sure I have the video that I was talking about. Give me 1 second. I had it, but just double checking. Okay, I do have it. All right. So, and again, another precursor. I have nothing against Anthony. I do like Linus Tech when they do the 5,000 thing and see what each person do. And I like his videos. I'm not hating on other stuff. That's all. Some stuff, sometimes I'm looking at when Linus had his old house, like the things he do to make simple things complicated puzzles me, but he's a geek, tech geek, and his wife allows it, so I ain't got nothing against that. But it is weird, you know, he does videos to make money, and I ain't got nothing against that. So I got nothing against Anthony, who is one of his employees who does videos. I like when he does his video graphics analogy and everything. So this is not against Anthony, but take it in digest, because this is really getting annoying. And the funny thing about it, it's gonna come back. I got videos that proves my point. Of course, I always come with my receipts. I always come with my receipts. So with that said, let's go to the video here and react to it. This is take down this video, Nintendo, I dare you.
Their army of lawyers for less than all I've done, but I managed to smuggle it out. Here. This is what they don't want you to see.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, get over here.
You can't like it, but hey, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm not gonna be negative about it, but just saying it. Okay.
Video games on the Steam Deck? It's more likely than you think. Nintendo would never do it. In
Of course they would never do it. Why? There'll be less money. Duh.
fact, they took down videos from smaller YouTubers for just showing it. But
again, there's a reason why they did that. I'll take it later on.
But as much as they'd like to do the same to me, everything you're about to see is perfectly above board. And
Technically not, but again, I'll let the video go.
has obvious benefits to you, the Nintendo gamer. Like,
Not really. Not really, but again, just the way some of these gamers like to be.
saving you the trouble of packing your Switch and game carts whenever you go out. And I'll save you the trouble.
You know what that look like? Have you guys looked at the? I like it. Have you guys looked at the, what do you call it? You seen those commercials at late night where a person try to cook pasta and then they try to sell this thing that boils pasta? Basically, this is what this video is about. Technically speaking, just a tech version of the damn thing. There's a the pasta maker. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna look for the video. I'm just gonna talk about it a little bit. There's a video back in the day that has this plastic cylinder that you could put hot water in, and you put the pasta in, and they say, "Wow, look at it! It instantly cooks pasta." And then, you know, the late night videos where they show this woman or man can't cook pasta. They do it in the most horrible ways. That's what that little piece right there just showed there. Like, I'll let you play again, and you're gonna see. I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about.
Benefits to you, the Nintendo gamer. Like saving you the trouble of packing your Switch and game carts whenever you go out.
That's what that remind me of. The woman's cooking the pasta and it's bad and all kind of stuff. It's like, what the heck are you talking about? They're like, they're making it that way, okay? And then the thing about it in the pasta maker, and this goes for a lot of the midnight late shows advertisement, which is funny. The one thing about the that same pasta thing I talked about, there's like, oh, look at you cooking your pasta instantly. You know what would be easier? How about you put the pasta with the water, and when the water heats up, the pasta, by the time the pasta is basically boiling, the water boiling, the pasta is cooked. Why make something simple much more harder? That's what this video is really about. But I'm gonna, that's how these guys present it, okay? So I'm a Nintendo fan. I didn't say nothing negative about the Steam Deck. I got my videos about it. I said my little why would I like it? Why would I not like it? But I didn't say it's a bad idea or nothing. I'm open minded to it. But I wouldn't want to put my Nintendo games on it, as you're gonna see, for a reason as well too. That's for a reason. A lot of people right now like to have subpar stuff. And they always bake it like, oh, this is gonna be way better than what it is. Okay, all right, good for you. Go ahead. But anyway, let's continue.
And I'll save you the trouble of not having to listen to this sponsor segue by giving it to you anyway. You can get playtime stats. It does take a little bit longer than usual because it has to load shaders and stuff, but once it's done, well, you'll see. Or maybe you won't. Because Nintendo is famously litigious, and we may or may not actually show this on YouTube.
Yeah, you ain't showing it on YouTube. That's and you can show it on your You can show it on your private a flow plane. You can show it on flow plane.
Ooh, Mario Kart 8. Alright, that's not A. Ah, one thing about the Steam Deck. A is not A in terms of the Switch, because if you look at the Switch, A is in fact the right-hand side. Alright, let's just do a Grand Prix. Let's just do it at the 50cc, because I'm a games journalist. I mean, so far, everything seems very smooth. And that's honestly been my experience with pretty much every game that I've played. Yeah, check that out. A little bit of a stutter there. I mean, it looks like Mario Kart, and it plays like Mario Kart. In fact, it plays better than you would typically be able to play with Mario Kart on the standard Switch, because you've got way better sticks.
I mess with the Steam Deck sticks. It's, you know what? Personal preference. Can't argue that one. I'll leave that alone.
I'm not the best person in the world at Mario Kart. This is basically 60 FPS. If it's dropping very seldomly.
Cue the joke, guys, of the 60 FPS even on the Wii U. But again, I digress. And funny enough, if you watch a couple of Linus's videos about his house building and stuff, he has his Wii U too. For all the negative he hits about it, he still has it. But I digress again.
The input lag seems pretty good too. All right, well, let's pop
How about
out.
There shouldn't be no input lag.
Deluxe here. Let's try Smash. Let's do it. Now, I will freely admit that if I'm bad at Mario Kart, I am very bad at Smash. Okay, so there's some shader compilation lag there. Oh, a lot of shader compilation lag. This is stuff that'll happen basically the first time. After the shader is compiled, you basically don't have to worry about it anymore.
Not really.
As you can see, it is now pretty solid in terms of frame rate. Oh, and the stage changed again, so...
That's why I said that.
That threw a wrench in that. But yeah, as you can see, it picks right up, and now it's actually very good. I actually have no idea what this item is. It's like a weird version of the Fire Flower from Smash 64. Well, I mean, I didn't win that. That was bad. But, you know, the actual performance is pretty good, at least after the shaders are finished compiling. Sorry all these clips are blurred. We believe that fair use protects gameplay footage for the purposes of creating reviews and tutorials, but Nintendo believes otherwise and has proven to be aggressively litigious about third-party exhibition of their games.
As long as you do not make it for profit. That's a part of fair use a lot of people don't read down there in the thing. And I've read the thing, debunked that thing multiple times before, and done videos on it. So I'm not going to hit you for the people who've been on this channel for a long time. No, I've done that. Again, I always bring so I'm not playing that game, but yes. If you're not making profit off of it, it's cool. Nintendo has claimed a lot of my videos. I don't care. I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing this for profit. I'm not making money off of my channel. I do this for fun. So I have no copyright. I have copyright strike, but no hard strikes that's gonna hit my videos in my channel, because my channel is free. My channel is free and clear. Now I can tell you that for sure, because for my radio channel that I'm doing, I do my radio show on and stuff. YouTube has hit me one for the most dumbest of things. But because I'm talking about topical stuff, and they have claimed my own music. So YouTube also is not the perfect arbiter of anything. And I could tell you that right there. So I'm not blaming these guys or nothing. YouTube also is basically a piece of work. All right? Just saying. But But yeah, as long as you ain't making the money off of it, I know a couple channels who have millions of subscribers and some who didn't do stuff, and they have no strikes on their channels either. But I don't monetize none of my videos because I do this for fun. But anyway.
And has repeatedly misused the DMCA to punish third parties when they feel that they're being harmed in some other way, even if there is no law against whatever you're doing. Nothing is blurred over on Flowplane.com. Of course, by this point, I'm sure you've got some questions, like, why bother if I'm still using a handheld anyway? Valve's Steam Deck is way bulkier to carry, and it has less battery life than the Switch.
Correct.
But it's tough to deny that a full PC is a more versatile device.
Okay. Full PC is a more device. You're correct.
So if I wanted to carry just one handheld, this
It'll be the Switch.
My only real option. This isn't to say that the Steam Deck is a superior console. I mean, for one, it lacks Switch-grade motion controls and HD rumble. I just want to avoid packing two handhelds for travel once I finally get my Steam Deck. And this one is Linus's, as you can plainly see.
Yeah, that's another reason why you gotta jerry-rig the thing to get it to do stuff 1 and 2. I have a product that does it really good. Why would I want a jank version of it? What I mean by that, yes, I know a lot of you computer guys, and I'm a PC guy too. I've done videos about my PC ring and everything. The one thing about, I guess, again, you get better graphics and better resolution and stuff like that. Whoopee, happy, whatever. I am not a graphics whore. I am an art style whore. I like art style games. I like 2D HD. I like people who write the stuff, who draw and design on the screen. That kind of stuff is what makes me like a game way better than polygons and all that other stuff. Whatever. I don't need that because it ages badly. One, that's one of them. It ages badly, and two, it's just unnecessary to get that whole photorealistic everything. Okay, great. It looks good after a while, and then it just blurs in the background for my eyes. I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about all y'all, but I'm talking about me. Me, when I see a nice art style, I can still see that game later on and enjoy it. The Turtles again that just came out, those guys pay attention to the art style. Same thing with Street of Rage. Same thing with Breath of the Wild. Because again, look at that. Look at Twilight Princess. It aged a little badly compared if the original Breath of Twilight Princess compared to HD. It aged a little badly. Zelda Wind Waker. The original Zelda Wind Waker looks very good and still looks good up to this day. That's why I like the art style more than the graphics. But anyway, let's continue.
Now, if you're with me so far, your next question has to be, how do I get this into this? One word, jailbreak.
Of course, jailbreak. And here comes the convoluted things to do this.
Here's a list of everything we'll need to get going. And while most of it is free, the big one that's not and might be hard to find is a jailbroken or jailbreakable Switch. There's a great write-up by Aaron Donald over on Alpha with a listing of serial number ranges that you can use to figure out if your Switch is moddable. But the TLDR is that any Switch purchased within about the first year or so should work just fine. It just so happens that the Switch I borrowed from one of our new hires is a very early serial number.
Okay, before that, hey, anybody out there who wants to do this nonsense? Hey, I'll give you a Switch. $500. I have two Switches that's within that range if you want to do that. $500 a piece. Since y'all want to do this, and I don't know how it is, but I got $500 a piece. I'll gladly sell it to y'all.
The other big piece of hardware is the RCM jig. You can get one like this on Amazon for about $5, which we will link below. But what these are doing at the end of the day is simply jumping some pins on the right Joy-Con rail to place it in recovery mode. Here are some other methods if you're inclined to hack a spare Joy-Con. An old one that's got stick drift is a good candidate, since this will definitely void the Joy-Con's warranty.
Of course it would.
Fair warning, by the way. If you go any further, I wouldn't recommend connecting your Switch to Wi-Fi. Maybe this is the excuse you've been waiting for to pick up a Switch Lite or OLED for daily driving. I'll be using this excellent guide by the Nintendo Homebrew Discord server, and you can find download links for everything there as well. Once you've got a hackable Switch and the jig, go ahead and power off the console and slide the jig into place at the very bottom of the right Joy-Con rail. Hold the volume up button while pressing power, and you should see a blank screen with no backlight. Congratulations! You're in recovery mode. That's actually a good thing. If not, power off and try again. It might help to take a sip from a water bottle from LTDstore.com, soon to be available in Chungus 64 ounces, although this video might be down by the time that's true. Now, launch the app on your PC, Mac, or Android host device, or perhaps you might even use the Steam Deck here, and plug in the USB cable. Before we can proceed with a full jailbreak, we'll first need to partition our SD card using Tegra Explorer, so make sure you've made a backup of anything you have on the SD card. Select.
I'm only letting this play without me saying anything because, again, I know it, just so you can see this. The reason I'm letting this play in this regard, so you can see how much steps you gotta do to get this to work.
The Tegra Explorer payload and send it to launch it on the Switch. Select Partition the SD, then FAT32 plus MU-MMC. Once it's done, select Reboot to RCM and eject the SD card. Insert the SD card into your host device and copy these files to the SD card. Not all the stuff that's listed in the guide is strictly necessary for what we're doing today, but the bootloader, Hecate, Gold Leaf, Atmosphere, DBI, and Lockpick are non-negotiable. Move the SD card back into the Switch and inject the Hecate payload. Using the Switch's touchscreen, select MU-MMC, and then Create. Once that finishes, choose Change MU-MMC and select SD-RAW1. Before we can move on from Hecate, we'll also need the Switch's unique hardware keys, so we'll select Payloads and then choose Lockpick RCM. On this screen, you'll need to use the volume buttons to navigate up and down and the power button to select. We're specifically after the sysnand, so select that and it should dump out to the SD card under the Switch folder. We'll copy these into the emulator's keys folder later. Now we can launch custom firmware. Go back into recovery mode and inject Hecate again. Go to Launch, then Atmosphere. Bam, you are now in custom firmware, which you can verify in Settings. Now we can launch the Homebrew menu by holding R and launching a game that's currently installed. The first thing we need to do is dump the system files needed by a few games by going to Gold Leaf and then Explore Content. Go to Console Memory, System, and then copy all of the items there into the SD card. Exit Gold Leaf. Now it's finally time to dump some games. Launch DBI. Choose Run MTP Responder, then plug the Switch into your computer. Bam! Look at that! You've got your SD card, your installed games, your saves, and your game card. That's everything. Backing up is as simple as copying the files, though you don't need both the trimmed and not trimmed files from your game card. Trimmed should be fine, unless you want a perfect backup including the garbage data that fills the unused space on the card. With our keys in the games, all we need now is emulation software. I'll say up front that Switch emulation isn't perfect yet, but many games do run just fine. Installing one of the two available Switch emulators, Yuzu or Ryujinx, is pretty straightforward. But both require that the deck be in desktop mode to configure. First, open up the Discover Store to grab them from FlatHub. We'll use Yuzu as an example here. You don't need to disable the read-only file system for this, just FYI. Once downloaded, open Yuzu and it'll complain that there aren't any keys. We have a solution to that. Go to File, then open Yuzu folder. See that Keys folder in there? Copy those keys from earlier into there, and while you're at it, copy the system folder we backed up with Gold Leaf into the NAND folder. Then restart the emulator. From here, there's a few options we should configure for the emulator, starting with disabling this setting, which would make exiting from the deck UI frustrating. Next, in controls, we want to emulate a Switch Pro controller and make sure that the emulator itself is using our Steam Virtual Gamepad, which should automatically map everything correctly for us. Then, in graphics, we should make sure that we're set to 1x native resolution, and running borderless windowed mode for later. Then, under Advanced, make sure fast GPU time is enabled. You can disable it per game later, but I've found that you generally get better performance with it on. Finally, set full screen under View, then on the bottom strip, you'll see some options. Click on Docked to change it to handheld for better battery life and performance, since we only have a 720p class screen anyway. Go ahead and copy over the games you backed up from your Switch to an easy-to-remember folder like your downloads and point the emulator to it. Haha, yes! Switch games! Try running one here to make sure everything works. And don't worry, it's normal for minor stuttering to happen during load screens or when shaders are compiling for the first time. They'll either go away soon or happen when they're least likely to be problematic. Now it's time to integrate all of this into Steam. While still in desktop mode, open up Discover and look for Steam ROM Manager. Install that and fire it up. Under Community Presets, type Yuzu and choose the Flatpak version. It'll automatically set everything up for you except for your ROMs folder, which you'll have to set to where you copied your games earlier. Click Save and then test to make sure that the games show up. With that done, go to the Settings page and select your Steam directory. This will be here under Home. Finally, go to the Preview page and click on Generate App List. If all looks good, click Save App List. Now log out and go back into your library on the main deck UI. Check it out. In the non-Steam games list, there's all your Steam games. You can even use this for other console emulators too. Now there are some drawbacks to this approach, like you're not able to use Nintendo's online services, which could be a deal breaker for you. To be clear, you can play multiplayer games, but only via local play or via local wireless through Ryujinx's LDN build, which is a bit tougher to set up on the Steam Deck by actually quite a lot. That's a tough pill to swallow for some after all of those hoops you already had to jump through. There are also benefits, though, like easy backups of save games without Nintendo Online.
Now, I'll admit to this part right here, and I have knocked Nintendo for this multiple times. That part right there, I'm not saying this is to do this. I'm just saying what he's gonna say is what I've said before. And I think about it. We had it, but it was Nintendo fans in the first place who tried to act wanted to be like. And again, goes back to my video of the champions here when I had a discussion with other people talking about stuff, and I was proven right. When Nintendo, y'all were bitching on the Wii U. Oh, we want it to be save data in the cloud and all that stuff. And I said, and I did multiple videos about this. The cloud is a dumb idea when it comes to some of this stuff because you're not owning it. I don't want that. I'd rather have local backup any day, anytime, anyway. If I mess up or something mess up, I'll take it on me. But I don't want nobody else controlling something, and I got to pay for it too. No. That's what. I was against that with the Wii U, and I was happy with the Wii U. But when the Switch came, and I said, this is going to happen, and a lot of people were like, oh, that ain't going to happen. Lo and behold, it happened. So, yes, and Nintendo's at like 98% of it. And I said to Nintendo himself, why not just give us the SD card savers? Just do it. Just at that point, just give us that circle plate. So I agree with this point that Anthony brings up. I don't like it. But again, I've been a staunch person against this from Nintendo. So like I said, I could call Nintendo out on their BS as well too, in that regard. But again, that was pushed because of gamers trying to be like, because the Wii didn't sell that well, with people trying to be like PlayStation, Xbox. You reap what you get.
I mean, I'll certainly sleep better knowing that a lost Switch doesn't mean hours of lost game progress.
That's not that part. It doesn't mean a lost Switch. I mean, again, I ain't gotta worry about losing my Switch.
And while the first generation Steam Deck with modern emulators doesn't offer any performance advantages over a real Switch, that will change in the future, and you could expect to run games at higher frame rates or resolutions, or even with experimental mods on better hardware. And nothing we're doing here is, in my opinion, immoral or unethical.
What you're doing, no. What you're doing, that's what I'm gonna get to. Here's the problem. This is the problem I kill me here. And that's why a lot of PC guys and all that stuff, whatever, they kind of want to have their cake and eat it too, even though the cake is basically shit. You're basically doing a video, and you can say I'm participating in it because I'm rebutting this, but I'm participating in this as well. That you might do this. I have no problem if you want to jailbreak and do this to your Switch and whatever. You bought the console, you want to do it, no problem. Here's the problem. The thing about this that I said this is Nintendo is aggressive against this because their IPs, their games, they make money off of it. Again, if everybody took this video and they couldn't, and this video couldn't get to the 1 million whatever, and put this video exactly what it is out there, Anthony, you would not get paid because everybody could get this stuff for cheaper or for free. 1, 2. You might not do nothing wrong, but we're human beings. Not all human beings is good. A lot of them are bad, really. And that's a thing that I never understand, that in the political games, whatever, everybody, some little people be like, oh, humans are good. We're doing this for the good of people. People are evil. I'm already sure I have a saying. Evil's evil. No matter what, evil comes in all shapes, color, creed, height, sex, gender, nationality. Evil is evil. I can find evil, the evilest people in every single thing I just listed right there. So what the heck are you talking about? You might not do something like this, but somebody might take this and make it into an online store, which he said later on that nobody has lost. So Nintendo not going to lawsuit, but yes, they have. Turned into an online store, and the only reason they have not gotten Nintendo have not gotten money and shut down most of the emulator stuff, whatever, because they can't pay the money, and they have won it in U.S. courts, Anthony. It's just that they ain't got the billions of dollars to pay back Nintendo. So hey, how about just don't do it? That's all I'm saying. Other people have done that. That's what it is. They take your scheme, make the stuff, and make money out of it, and do this. All right. That's the problem with this. I'm a musician. I understand the whole Napster thing when Napster happened back in the 2000s. I see what people are like it, but I also see that, you know, I work hard on my music and people steal my music. I didn't, you know, and it didn't hurt me because I was independent and I had a more user-friendly back then when people were coming to me. But the bigger people, again, you wasn't gonna win the lawsuit and everything, and that's mostly what the lawsuit is. It's not really you're gonna win it. I mean, they're gonna win it, but yeah, you're gonna $50 million for a couple songs. Come on, guys, you're not gonna win that, whatever. But that affects the people who made, who made the product. So again, it's like you say, hey, here's how to steal, here's how to go past a bank security. But we won't know how to do it, but this is how we do it. Okay. And then somebody take that and go ahead and do, hey, here's a video how to break into banks. And that's the problem there. And that's why a company or a bigger user don't want this on the internet like that. That's why they spend hundreds of millions of dollars so the games don't get pirated. There's a reason why they do that.
Those who are concerned about the damage that piracy does to game developers, you can rest easy knowing that we didn't download any ROMs or firmware from the internet.
You did, but the other people ain't. Again, that's what, like I said.
We didn't circumvent any protections. We got the games and keys to decrypt them, fair and square, from our own device, using its own firmware recovery mode. That matters legally, even if it is a little less clear-cut than the AACS decryption keys leaked back in the day.
Thank you.
But why is this so contentious?
Because they don't want to lose money. Out of all the gaming companies out there, on their IPs, on their games, Nintendo is the #1 that makes money off of it. No other company has that rate other than Nintendo. That's why. That's literally why. That's their #1 money maker. And again, Sony got nowhere close to this. Microsoft nowhere close to this. Any other third parties don't got nowhere close to it. Nintendo, being that they're the first party, they make a lot of money. I did a breakdown years ago. I don't know if the number has changed that much in like the percentage, but they have the highest percentage rate of making money off of their cartridges game compared to any other company in the world.
Nintendo fans will call you a bad person for doing it? Well,
yeah.
I already talked a little bit about how Nintendo is right to fair piracy in our previous legal emulation video.
Exactly.
Especially now that there's a similarly priced handheld that can also run nearly every PC game ever.
And good for them on where you PC games.
And the back catalogs of nearly every historical console. With that being said, if you don't turn around and distribute the keys or ROMs, in our opinion, you haven't done anything wrong.
That's what I was talking about. Thank you. You might not do that, but other people will. That's why, Anthony. You proved my point right there. Hey, break into the bank. This is how you do it. But I won't go do it because if you get caught, it'll be a problem. That's my point. You are a nice guy, per se, and you wouldn't do that. Good for you. But you just showed people how to do it, and they were able to say, well, I can make money off of this. I could do this. And that's why I stated right there. You debunk your own argument, what I just stated. That's my point.
Nintendo, of course, doesn't seem to care.
They care because that's their moneymaker. Just like your videos is y'all moneymaker too. If there was a way to stop y'all making y'all videos on YouTube and all the places, you would care. Linus would care. Even though Linus would talk that nonsense, he would care.
They went so far as issuing a DMCA takedown of the Fox's video showing the Steam Deck running Switch games despite him neither showing nor suggesting where to get the ROM files. I guess now we'll see if they have the appetite to pick a fight with a bigger fish doing a full guide.
They do. I guarantee you they do. I guarantee you they do. I've been through some of the legal disputes and stuff like that. Clearly, when I went over to Nintendo in 2015 and see some stuff. Oh boy, yeah. I remember when I was talking to some of the people over there when I was at Nintendo headquarters. And I was like, oh boy, some people gonna get this, when the game's coming out. Some people get butthurt because I know some people are gonna try to hack these games, whatever. And I was correct. Some of these emulator stores and stuff and PC, they lost the fight.
You can probably guess at this point that we have something of a love-hate relationship with Nintendo. I mean, as a known Sega kid, I obviously have a little bias.
I mean, I'm the same way too. I am a known Sega kid. When I was young, I was playing Sega before I played the Super Nintendo. I had a Genesis. I love my Genesis that my father bought me.
But even ignoring the responses to the Fox's video, you'll need only look at how Nintendo treats their own biggest fans.
By showing you how to get... And I'm the fanboy. I'm the bad guy here because I just show you games and play it. I'm the one not telling you how to get it on other consoles so they don't get... They're thinking.
To see why, despite the wellspring of creativity and childhood memories they represent, they're kinda dicks about it.
So are you guys.
Sega, meanwhile, is surprisingly chill overall, so...
Cause they don't make no money! They don't make no money from this. They're nowhere close to the money of Nintendo, Anthony. Nowhere close. It's literally like I'm taking a 1 foot dinghy going against the celebrity ship. Nowhere close. And Sega's basically like a whore right now. Just like SNK was a whore. They didn't care, but SNK became a whore when they're like, oh crap. They put their games on PlayStation. And again, I did a video about this. They put their games on PlayStation, Xbox. Nobody will buy them. They put it on the Switch. They saw people buying the games, and then they threw every single game on that console. They were like whores. Next example. Tecmo. Is it Tecmo? The people who do the Warriors games. Oh, they've done Warriors games. Didn't do that well. Then came Hyrule Warriors. We're making that money. Hyrule Warriors selling like crazy. All right, maybe we could do Dynasty Warriors or Warriors game and do it with whatever. They tried. Did it play well? No. Did it work well? No. Did it sell well? No. Then came Fire Emblem Warriors. Ooh, Fire Emblem Warriors. That sell. That made money. And then after that, Tecmo is like, Nintendo, give us any IP you want. We will suck your dick because we just give us an IP because that's where they make their most money from. Shout outs to the Dragon Sword one. That made good money. Not as close as the Nintendo and Nintendo games, but that made good money. And again, Persona Strikers. That's a really good game. I've done a review about that. That's a really good game. But then you have Fire Emblem, and then you have what was it called again? Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Sold like hotcakes. Bam, 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 bam. Make money. They're like. Then you have what just came out last week? What came out last week, Liger? Oh yes, Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, which is also selling quite well. These guys know how strong Nintendo is. That's why they do it. Sega ain't holding a candle to that. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. There's a difference. And again, go back and read the console war books like I talked about. The console war book back in it came out in the 90s. You can see the difference. Yes, Nintendo's was little dicks. And again, I'll admit to it. They were little dicks, but they were private. But they were private for a reason. Sega wasn't. And who won that console war again? It starts with an N and ends with an O. Oh yeah, Nintendo. The hell?
so I feel pretty vindicated. But it doesn't stop people like Linus or even me from continuing to give Nintendo their money, even if Linus would feel awkward taking theirs. The thing is,
I'll leave it alone.
one of Nintendo's longest held beliefs is that emulation itself is piracy. That you're only allowed to play the games that you buy on original media with the original hardware. Every legal precedent that I know of has leaned otherwise. And Nintendo to date has yet to score victories in court against anyone who hasn't been actively...
They have won victories. Wait, Canada Hacker Bowser has agreed to pay the... Why you put the article up there when it said the only problem is they couldn't get the money because it's a lot of money? They won... What?
NANI?
The hell? Oh my goodness. Why put it up there? They won that one. It's just that they're not going to get the money. Oh my God.
distributing ROMs of their IP. If they tried, my gut tells me that the US courts would side with the individual, but...
The individual, if it's a person, but if they're doing it like Bowser's game, they to sell to make money, as you just put on the screen, they don't.
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
Thank you. The hell?
I guess there's only one way to find out. And only one way to find out of our sponsor.
And I'll leave it to that. Let's switch to this other part because they continue doing this. So let's hear the backlash, as they say. So this is their land show. Funny enough, Linus called the video "State of Gaming is terrible, and we are to blame." If you look at the screenshot, yes, we are to blame. I've said that multiple times. That's why I think the Nintendo Switch, unless they do a Switch Pro, Switch 2, whatever, like I said in the future, I am buying all my games physical. And I'm going to back it up with my receipts on that. Even they themselves said it themselves, which is so funny how, you to prove yourself wrong in any case. But okay, let's listen to what it said. I've never listened to this stuff, so let's listen.
Any updates? Did we ever hear from Nintendo after the video was posted?
Nope. I mean, it's still early. There's plenty of time. Realistically, I don't think there's a whole lot that they can say about it. Everything that we did was here, legal. It's just one of those things where my position is that Nintendo has a lot of growing up to do as
So do you.
a company. They need to just chill out a little bit, figure out what their value add is to gamers, and
Basically the best value add in gaming right now. But I digress.
stop intentionally antagonizing them. I think they could
By
actually
what?
be more successful
By
if
what?
they took a more open approach to both their hardware and their software. And
Wait, we saw people did that. We saw companies did that. And how did they work? Atari did that. That didn't work. Sega did that. That didn't work. PlayStation got lucky. Then they figured out a way to get around the things. Because again, I remember back. You heard me say it multiple times. They were pirating of those PlayStation 2 games and Dreamcast games back in the day. I could have played games. I didn't have to pay crazy money, whatever. I did that. I was in my college years, and I did I think 3 or 4 games like that. But after that, I said, nah. Become a musician myself and running my own company, I figure out, nah, that's bad. I can't be doing this and saying this. I'll be a hypocrite. So I buy stuff legitly as best as I can. And as I said in the Wii U days, if you give me a good game, I'll buy it twice, which I did. PlayStation, it's just the Switch right now. I've done that same thing too, and also the indie games. I've done that too. I've done that to indie games because I know how hard it is for them.
I get very frustrated with their hypocrisy. Where they'll go after emulation as a whole and the developers of emulators, and then they'll go and use emulators.
Yeah. To do... Yes. They'll go after emulators of people who mess up their coding and sell their coding in the emulators. That's why. And 2, yes, you make a game and give it out for free, so it hits their budget. I wouldn't like that. It's a white take, but that's one of the reasons I do not put my music on YouTube until I've gotten most of my money off of it. Yes. And I have one in court. I've legitimately have one in court. I'm talking about like high courts of people who have used my music and used my beats without my permission and all this stuff to make money. And the funny about it is it was two guys. I'll give you a quick story. The two guys who used my music without my permission because somebody has stole the music, gave the beat to them, whatever. I didn't charge. I said, hey, give me this amount of money, and then I told them, because your song is hot because you're using my beat, just give me the credit, and from this point on, you take any money from it. Just give me this certain amount of money, and you could take the rest of the money. That's what the last one I did. Because those guys didn't know that happened, and I feel bad for those guys that they got caught up in that. It was the producer who did that, but I get it. If they did this on YouTube and they didn't make the money off of it, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. But I have a hot album that went platinum. Thank goodness it did. And one of the hot songs on it is a song that somebody's doing that to. I get that. But then you promote it and it cross and it comes. It's crazy. No. So I myself is that. And I wasn't being a dick about it. Like I said, they did not know. I didn't hurt those guys. It'd be settled for a lump sum that was pretty low, not super high, pretty low. Let them go on and make their money. And since technically speaking, they have come back to me for some music because they know my shit's legit. That's what's the difference. I digress though.
Like, okay. Are you against it, or do you view it as a valuable tool? You can't really.
He against the way you. Yeah, well, Linus, I'm not against a knife, but if somebody uses knives to kill, I'm against a person using the tool to kill. But I can find it useful as a chef to cut. I'm not against the knife. I'm against the way people use it. That's the emulation part. If you're using it to sell and make money, yes, I'm against it. That's the difference.
It frustrates me when companies have games that have like very prevalent competitive scenes and then they just like pretend they don't exist. It'd be nice to see Nintendo like engaging with the Smash community or whatever else, although that...
Do you mean that toxic ass community? Same thing with the Splatoon community. All of them is toxic as hell. I wouldn't want to... I don't want to substitute to none of this stuff. Because they're toxic people. Thumbs me down all you want. Y'all toxic.
The community's like super sketched, so a little questionable, but yeah.
It's just like I don't want to be with niggly bears. I'm black, but I hate
niggers.
niggers.
Esports team and helps with the tech department. Do you have any thoughts on high school esports teams?
Oh, hold on. I want to clarify something. I think it was actually Sony that used an emulator in a product that they ended up releasing that was not developed by them. Was it them? Guys, help me out in the chat here.
It was Nintendo as well.
I thought so too, but I'm not immediately finding it. So, sorry, what was that, Bill?
From Alan, he runs an esport team at a high school and wonders what your thoughts are on high school esports teams.
Not against that. Have fun, do it. Just don't make. That's all it is. God, don't be a dick about it. But yeah, enjoy it, have it. If you have the game, you make it. I have no problem against that.
I mean, I don't really see it as any different from a high school chat.
Yeah. So okay. So let's go. And then let's go to this. Again, look at this. Remember, bad company, very bad company.
I don't think there's really a ton to say.
You know what I don't hate? Let's talk about Wide Care.
Oh man, what a name!
I know, right?
What a name! It's an extended warranty service that is only available in Japan, provided by Nintendo, called Wide Care. It grants customers up to $750 in repairs or 6 repairs per year. The warranty covers both accidental and water damage to your Switch, controllers, and the dock. The price is $15 a year or $1.50 a month, or 2,000 yen and 200 yen.
And the yearly subscription can actually be used outside the warranty period. I would actually, that's not really even a warranty, in my opinion, at that price. That's closer to an insurance policy. And in a way, extended warranties are kind of an insurance policy, but the fact that this can be, as far as I can tell, done on just an ongoing basis makes it different from an extended warranty. That's what makes it an insurance policy
I'm
to me.
sure they'll stop providing it at some
Yeah,
Well,
they
yeah, but the
always
Switch
stop.
has already been out 4 or 5 years or whatever. And it says that, as far as I can tell anyway, that you can sign up for it. Like now, you have to buy extended warranties typically at the time
At
of
the time of
purchase
purchase,
or within some short period, and they're for a finite amount of time. Just being able to have peace of mind that my whatever thing will continue to serve whatever purpose
I would have
on
been
an ongoing basis. I pay $15 a year for that. That's not bad.
I would have been viciously against it if it wasn't really cheap.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the price.
It's super cheap.
It's not extended warranty pricing. It's like
$15 a
insurance
year.
pricing. Probably something will go wrong, but if it does, hey, great, I've got insurance, right? Like that's the whole point of it. Apparently, they will cover up to $750 in repairs or 6 repairs a year.
For
And
$15, that's
in my
not bad.
opinion, I think it's a really good deal, especially for a mobile device.
I would hope that this doesn't address right to repair concerns.
No. And
I
it doesn't
would,
make Nintendo suddenly a good pro-consumer company.
yes. People in chat are pointing this out. I was thinking about this already, and it's already in the doc. So I think there's quite a unified conclusion on this. If this covers Joy-Con drift,
They already have a thing for the Joy-Con drift. Just send it back to Nintendo, and they'll fix it for free. Yes, you gotta pay the shipping and handling, but you fix it free. It fixes it free. I don't need that to do this, Luke. But again, you figure out how these people do things.
like everyone should get it.
Not really. You could do it for free.
I mean,
Basically, I don't know.
Joy-Con drift shouldn't be a problem. Ooh,
No.
Neither should it be on Xbox and PlayStation, but nobody talks about it. That's why I had a video where people were like, oh, you protected Nintendo. I said Nintendo should be responsible for the Joy-Con drift, and nobody talk about PlayStation nor Sony. Both of them have control drift. Anybody talks about that shit? No, you only talk about one company. Talk about all of them. All of them have the problem. Freaking hell, that's the part that takes me off in that regard. They don't talk about the other two.
Absolutely.
we installed third-party Hall Effect joysticks in the Steam Deck today.
Good.
I have never used a game controller that made me feel like I really had fine control. I never played Dreamcast. Never had a Dreamcast.
I would might as well be the
was
Nintendo Wii.
Awesome.
The
Because
Wii's
you
way
gotta
better.
remember, not only does a Hall Effect sensor have a much better longevity because it's magnetic based rather than
And that's what Nintendo had on the GameCube and stuff like that when they did it. And I wonder why Nintendo went the mechanic, not the hard what he's saying, but the magnetic thing. I don't know why they switched from it. Maybe it's to be cheaper. So again, I blame it. I don't know. I hold Nintendo regards with the Joy-Con drift. I'm not saying that this should not be a thing, but again, nobody talks about the other consoles. That's the part that pisses me off.
based. If it's centered perfectly, it will be centered perfectly every time. And Valve also has a tool on the Steam Deck to allow you to adjust your dead zones. So if you know you have an outstanding, reliable joystick that will always center perfectly and always read perfectly in every direction because it uses freaking magnets, how do they work? Then you can reduce the size of your dead zone.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So my dead zones were so small that even playing an FPS game, because that's what happens when I try to play FPS games on a controller. So I'm like, oh, it's not moving, it's not moving, it's not moving, and off we go, right? But I was actually
That's
able
why I
to
like the Nintendo
fine-tune it and
the
aim.
Wiimote
That's pretty
better.
sweet.
Oh.
That's cool.
Oh, I love it. So
Well,
One thing that I
yeah.
just thought of about the current topic, sorry to derail slightly, but is that they entirely get to decide how much the repairs cost.
who does?
Nintendo.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
750.
They're the only one offering the service.
Right.
Yeah,
So up to $750 in repairs, but like, how much does it cost to replace a Joy-Con?
Yeah, that's fair.
but it's free. Jeez, it's free, dude. I've done it myself. It's free, except for the shipping and handling. What are you talking about? Go to their website and put in Joy-Con drift, and Do that, and you're good. What? Am I missing something here? Maybe I am.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Apparently.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. I'm not like overjoyous about this because I would rather it was more of a right to repair situation. I would rather that there was some form of solution given for Joy-Con drift. I don't think Nintendo is a saint of a company. They have a lot of issues in this regard. It's cheap. It is only provided in Japan.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't go outside of Japan.
Yeah, there's.
You could replace. Do they not know that you could replace your Joy-Con for free? I mean, Nintendo will fix it. That's kind of weird for nerdy guys like you.
There's a lot of only Japan stuff that companies like Sony and Nintendo do.
Yeah.
Or Sharp or.
Someone's saying
those
Joy-Con
guys.
repairs are free. You can send them to Nintendo and they will repair for free.
Yeah,
Yes!
For now. But I think what Luke's saying is there needs to be a long-term solution.
And I agree with that too. But that's the point. I agree with that. It needs a long-term solution. I'm not denying it. But there is freeness. So what the hell? Sony and Microsoft ain't got that.
Hold on a second.
Constantly sending your controllers out and needing to wait like a super long time. Stop spamming it, by the way. But okay, I'm just gonna start banning people.
Loudface Bob says Mad Catz made a good one. A good Dreamcast controller. I mean, I find that very difficult to believe.
Doubt that.
Did Mad Catz ever make anything good? Apparently, they still exist.
Really?
Yeah.
Which I was surprised.
Okay, and I'll let that go. So you see how things are. All right, let's get down to something that, again, these guys advocate. Linus and PC community not advocate, and Sony and PlayStation people advocate. Nintendo people too advocate. And the biggest thing why Nintendo Switch is my biggest physical library ever. I'm gonna jump to somebody else and I'm gonna jump back to them. This is why I tell people buy physical. That's why they did for the Wii. That's why I'm buying a lot of physical games for the Wii to the Switch, because I know just like my Dreamcast still works today. Thank God it does. But I do have two Wiis, and I do have a Wii U and a Japanese Wii U, which I didn't use that much. But anyway, I have a Wii U. But because of the disk drive, how disk drives works, and it break and stuff like that, it hurts. Cartridges last very long. I still have my original, some of my Nintendo cartridges still works. Game Boy cartridges still works. The Metro one still puzzles me. How the heck that battery keep that game safe for that long? That battery should have been dead by now. But for some reason, my saves is still on that game. I don't know that. That still works. Super Nintendo cartridge game still works in the Super Nintendo. A miracle to me. That's why I have all the consoles. Yes. And people say, oh, well, you know what? Look, I'll help you out there. I played Atari games and stuff like that. And here's the thing. I just didn't feel like whatever. I didn't feel like I don't have one thing missing out crap, whatever. Most gamers are narcissistic pricks. I'm not even going to deny that. That's why I said sometimes I'm a game connoisseur or something. And it's narcissistic prick because they just want everything to them for cheap, free, and whatever. That's why when Metroid came out, and I did a video about that, when Metroid Dread came out, it came out Friday and Saturday. They already got it emulated and stealing the damn game, and it didn't. And for all the people like, oh, this is the greatest game ever, blah blah blah. Is it the best selling Metroid? Yes. Did it sell like a Mario and all that other stuff? I'm talking about the people who make all these big videos and everything. Like, this is the best game, blah, blah, blah. Did they respond to that? No, we did not. Because most of y'all lying pieces of crap, 1 and 2. Y'all emulated the game, so people wasn't gonna buy the game. That's why Nintendo doesn't like that. And that's why we don't get a lot of Metroid games, because of stupid shit like that. That's the problem. But anyway, here we go. I want to play this one right here for this lovely lady. And this is Sony. So thank you for bringing up that. So Sony PlayStation.
Hate owning things digitally, whether it's games or movies.
I agree with you there too, my dear.
Because companies can rip the products you've paid for away from you whenever they feel like it. And that exact thing is happening right now with Sony's PlayStation Store. They are taking access away from people who have purchased movies from a specific film production company. And I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about this, and it deserves a lot more attention.
Yes, it does.
I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me
This
on
is
social
Vera
media
Dark.
like Twitter or mine,
So I'm giving you
and the
all
live
that.
streams that I create. Please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon channel, via YouTube memberships. Do really appreciate all of the support. So I have two different articles that I want to show off, but I wanted to start with this Variety article. It says Sony's PlayStation Store is pulling access to purchase Studio Canal movies next month. Sony's PlayStation Store, as of next month, will remove access to hundreds of movie titles from Studio Canal that customers in Germany and Austria previously purchased. Now, yes, right away it does say that this is for German and Austrian individuals who have purchased these movies, but just because it's not happening in America right now doesn't mean that it couldn't happen, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, okay? There are no laws protecting products that we own digitally, and that's why I always tell people how adamant I am on purchasing physical products. It says the move comes a year after Sony's PlayStation Group stopped offering movie and TV show purchases and rentals as of August 31st, 2021, citing the rise of streaming video services. At the time, Sony assured customers that they can still access the movie and TV content they have purchased through PlayStation Store for on-demand playback on their PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and mobile devices, but clearly that didn't mean forever. PlayStation posted notices about the impending removal of the Studio Canal content for German and Austrian customers on its website. As of August 31st, 2022, due to our evolving licensing agreements with content providers, you will no longer be able to view your previously purchased Studio Canal content, and it will be removed from your video library, the notices read. And I am going to get into a list in a minute, but we are not just talking about...
I'm just laughing because, again, you guys wanted, that's why I always say, people say, oh, progress is great. Not all progress is good. That's one. Two, this is what you get. Y'all want all these digital. Oh, so I don't got to load a console. I ain't got to load this and blah, 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 and all that stuff. One, funny enough, digital games still load. You're like, oh, we ain't got to load. It still loads. One. And two, you don't own the game outright. Now, I buy indie games, and I give them the benefit of the doubt. If I'll be bad if they pull, digital games that's only that I have bought. I have games that's digital only for indie games on the Nintendo Switch, and if this Nintendo knocks off the thing and everything, I'll say that sucks. It really does sucks, and I'm not denying it. Like if they Nintendo do it like Sony did. But if I could get it physical, just like Street of Rage, just like what's the other game? This Turtles Revenge, Shredder's Revenge. I'm getting that game digitally, yes, and it's a great game. I'm also getting it physical because there was a guy who said, "Oh, why would I buy the game physical?" For this reason, jabroni. This is the reason why you buy the game physical. Because then when you go back, you're like, oh, like most gamers now, this stupid stuff. Oh, I can't play this old games and blah blah blah. When a game, you're like, oh, I want to play that game. Oh shoot. There's no internet. Oh, it was always online. Oh, the server has gone, so I can't play the game. That's why you buy physical. Freaking hell.
About one or two movies here, or even three
Blair
or four.
Witch.
We are talking about a massive list of titles here. I mean, It goes on, and there are quite a few here that are well-known films.
Yep.
It's unclear whether PlayStation Storefront will refund customers for their purchases of movies that will no longer be available. A Sony rep declined to provide any detail about that, and I highly doubt that they are going to give people money back, because at the end of the day, all they care about is money. They just want to get your money, and they don't care about actually giving you those money back.
Taxes! Beautiful, lovely taxes!
Thanks for taking my money, asshole.
You see, that's all they think about. Nintendo too, so I'm not gonna put them out of that. Every company does that. I ain't stupid.
Something like this happens. It says the list of Studio Canal distributed titles that will be removed include 314 in Germany and 137 in Austria. So let's head on over to this list. As you can see, there are a ton here. I mean, I cannot sit here and read all of these, but the most notable, as it says, are Non-Stop, Paddington movies, Hunger Games, John Wick, Saw. The Saw series is on this list. So we're not talking about very unknown films here. We're not talking about just a handful of movies either. And again, this is why I do not like purchasing digital products. We've also seen situations where on things like Netflix or on Disney Plus, content is edited and then they try to sweep it under the rug. So in 2 years, I could watch a movie and it could be content that was edited for the modern audiences of that time, and I wouldn't know that I was supporting a sanitized product. That is also a massive issue with purchasing digital products and consuming digital products, because I don't own the real version.
That's why I went back and bought Beverly Hills Cops 1, 2, and 3. I don't like the third one that much, but 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray. That's why I went back and buy. Vin Diesel is not the greatest actor in the world, but I do love his Pitch Black series. So yes, Pitch Black. Of course, Riddick. All the Riddick movies, I got it on. I got that as well too. Harlem Nights, I got it on physical. I have a lot of DVDs on physical because when the time comes, I gotta worry about can't find it or whatever. That's why I want to buy that. Also, if I do have kids, whatever, I could just turn the movies on and watch that. First Blood, when all sorts of niggas movies was, just again, turn off your mind bender. Not mind bender, just turn off your mind, just enjoy movies. Yeah. Like Maverick that's coming out. Top Gun Maverick, an awesome movie. And I'm gonna get it physical. Why? Because again, later on I can watch the first Top Gun and that Top Gun. They're gonna do a thing together. That's why I'm waiting, because I'm seeing some good prices until November. I want to get Avatar, the Nintendo Avatar. Their prices used to be super high, now they come down super low. I want to get Avatar, the complete series. You get it on Blu-ray now, in thing for like about $40 in Best Buy. Sometimes you get 20, and that's what I'm trying to say. If I gave it for $20, if I gave it $20, that, and I think I saw one time when it was like that plus the other Avatar with Korra, $20. That's not bad. I'll do that.
That was put out when it originally launched, so anything on these platforms could be edited. And if a platform gets shut down, it's not like you get refunded for what you've purchased. No. I know the Variety article says they declined to comment for now. They're not going to give people their money back. They never ever do. That money just disappears and you'll never see it again. And we know services don't last forever. I would love to be positive about the future of digital goods like movies and games, but I'm just not, because I see situations happen time and time again. Look at how video games are launched and then servers are shut down. All that money is...
Or are they broken and you can't play the game day one, and then you need so much fripping patches that by the time the game gets to a certain point, you can't even... Without the internet, the game is unplayable anyway if you bought it physical, and I'll admit to that. There is a fault about that. But if that's what the practice is, that's why I don't like that. Yes, Animal Crossing will fit under that bill. That's for dang sure. Animal Crossing will fit under the bill. But my Metroid Dread will play as is what it is, because it was good, and I play without no problem. My Mario Kart will play as is. Would it have the other part about it? No, it won't. But I can still, if I have kids in the future, I can still play with my kids and have fun with Mario Kart in that regard. I know what I'm getting, but I'd rather have the physical. I control what the hell is going on.
It's gone. You can't play the game. You can't access your purchased products, and it's over. If we look at games, companies aren't afraid to ban people either. Even if you've spent thousands of dollars on their
Yep.
products and microtransactions.
That happens to Steam, and that goes to what Anthony was like, oh, with Steam. Okay, then if you have games on Steam, there have been cases where Steam, because of what they've said and all this stuff, which is not their damn business, I don't give a dang. Look, I don't like immoral people, I'll give it that. But if a guy, let's just say, a guy goes around and he kills people, that's horrible, horrible. He should lose all his rights. He should be, my personal opinion, if we know that he kills people, he should be dead. But, in America where you don't have, the death laws, I think you should call it super guilty. You did, like the man shooting that hat with the guy up there. Hey, we know you did it. Let's not waste trial. Let's put a man 6 feet on him. Done. It's all over. But when you have, and again, this is me bringing my radio show into this, and some of the people on my radio show, like last night, we had about, when I had Trip on my show, we had about 20,000. Before that, we had 45,000 people listening, watching us congruent through multiple platforms, of course, not just one spot. But listen, and they were in the chat going crazy on some of the stuff when I said when you could show that a mother could I meant like the mother can this guy ran over a child and because he was black, he didn't get no jail time. He ran over and killed a child. Or this other black dude who punched an Asian guy and killed him. He got none as well too, because they said that's restorative justice. So because you're black, you should not go to jail. I'm like, F that. I don't care what color you are. You do horrible things like that, you should be 6 feet under the jail. I don't care. And I'm just saying, in this regard right here, with all the stuff like that, yeah, they will. If you do something, whatever, they could take away. Oh, you're not LGBTQ 3568, the mafia group enough, so we're gonna take our games from you. Okay, you can't do that if I got my physical games, though, you piece of craps.
So if your account gets banned from something like Valorant, it doesn't matter if you've spent $10,000 in outfits and skins, they'll still ban you. You're not going to be able to get your money back either. You don't really own what you're buying digitally. And as someone who does spend a lot of money on digital things, it's very worrying to see something like this happen. And more people should be worried about getting their products ripped away from them.
No, they don't care. They care about the convenience. Oh, I just boot up and bam and playing all this stuff. That's what they care about. That's why I said not all products is good.
Again, this isn't happening in America right now, but
it is.
Most certainly could.
It is.
I'm sure that we are going to see situations happen like this.
EA has done pulled it. Ubisoft has done pulled it. There's been other games that have done. Activision has done this. So no, they have done this, sweetheart. They have.
More and more as they continue to push digital goods. I would love to be able to purchase all my movies and shows and games online on one service and then be able to access them with a click of a button. That sounds great. Let's be honest. I think most people think that that sounds great.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, it's a very flawed system. You don't actually own the products that you're getting. You're basically licensing them. And there have been articles over the years that have gone up about digital movies. This was one from September 2022. It says, think you own digital movies you buy, think again. And then it talks about kind of the cons of purchasing digital goods. It says 4 reasons you don't actually own digital movies you buy. I mean, there are things like this that go up all the time online. But I do think it's important to point out. It says 1, you can't access your movies whenever you want. Whenever you want to watch a digital movie, you have 2 barriers.
I've seen that with Amazon. I've seen it with Amazon and what was it? Netflix. My girlfriend seen that.
Overcome. First, you have to have internet access on the device you want to watch, or thought ahead and have the movie downloaded to that particular device. 2, you can't sell your movies or let friends borrow them. This is also a massive problem. If I have a physical product, like look at all the books behind me, okay? Look at this, Game of Thrones right here. I have this, okay? I can give this to someone. I can let them borrow it.
And you can sell it. And here's the thing. That's another thing too. Remember EA and all those came up with the whole digital, it was EA and Microsoft. Oh, we have digital use game.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
What the hell is a digital use game? The frig is that? Seriously. Holy crap basket. Wow.
I can sell it if I want, but with digital goods, you can't do that.
Thank you.
You can't just send it to someone's account and have them send it back after a certain amount of time, or sell it to someone. It says 3, Amazon specifically can lose movie rights or cancel your account at any time. Yeah, this could happen, I mean, on something like the PlayStation storefront. They can lose movie rights, they can cancel your accounts. It happens with video games too. And then it says, what if it goes out of business? This is also another problem. If the company goes out of business, they're not going to give you your money back, and you're never going to see that product again. And overall, it sounds like a great idea to have everything digitally, but ultimately it's just a very flawed system.
It is. And thank you. Let's give a shout out to Vera Doc. Thank you for that. Let's go back to Linus this now and finish this video. This is a long video, I know this, but it just, again, I have to. Let's go with this, Linus, as you just, basically, you're the one who you or your company topped off. And again, I like Linus, like his most of his content. I watch his video, but again, not everybody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Anybody's perfect, and I'm just bringing this up right here because this is what makes gaming. This is why I said I'm gonna buy physical games all the time, because if I can't buy it, then unless it's an indie game, I'm not buying a big name game unless, I'll be honest with anybody, I'm not buying a big name game unless I know I like what they did and I want to give them. It's like me giving them a tip. Like, I'll give an example, like with the Wii U. Yes, I bought Bayonetta 1 and 2 physically, but I also bought it digitally. I bought it digitally first. I like the conveniences on my hard drive, and I could play it. But again, when the hard drive stops, so I don't have the internet to show you I could play it or whatever, and I have showed you that you can do that, thank God. Again, one of my top videos on the channel is how to back up you can see right there when I'm touching now, how to back up your Wii U data so you could play it and still play. I talked about it, but other than that, yeah, yeah. I'm not, unless I'm doing that, I'm not buying no games. So like, let's see, let me see what game was big and I bought it physical, I didn't buy it digital. It's not like a Nintendo game where I know what it is. At this point I don't know. Let me see, I got so much games on my daggone Switch, but the Wii U is better because I know I did that more with the Wii U, but most of those games that double dip was mostly that. I've done that with some indie games that I respect. Like I said, I bought Street of Rage 3 times. I got Street of Rage digital. I got the original physical, the collection edition, and I have the anniversary edition because I think Dotemu and those guys did a great job with Street of Rage 4. So I want them to keep on prospering. Not prospering, sorry. Keep on going. Keep on, doing, that's like my tip to them for making an awesome game. I'm gonna do the exact same thing for the Turtles in Time game, the Turtles Revenge. The digital game, I bought it, but I'm gonna buy the physical game and then the Turtle collection. But like, I'm trying to figure out what game that came out big. Like, I would say like Mario and Bowser, like Mario and Bowser's Fury, whatever. I got a physical. I don't want the digital game for that one. I'm just trying to get examples of stuff like that. And it's Alive, I'm getting a physical. I'm not getting a digital. I'm getting a physical. But anyway, let's go with let's finish up with Linus here.
Because that's one of the games that Ubisoft is decommissioning the online services for.
Oh.
Here's a quote here. Closing the online services for some older games allows us to focus our services on delivering great experiences for players who are playing newer or more popular titles. And
oh, really? I'm not shocked.
Some of the ones that are being booted include Anno 2070, Assassin's Creed 2, 3, Brotherhood, Liberation HD, and Revelations, Far Cry 3, and Space Junkies.
It's a lot more than that, too.
It is a lot more than that. Do you want to actually pull up? Oh, source.
Yes,
Ubisoft.
this topic definitely needs a look at the Ubisoft website because the notes are not complete. But yeah, you can kind of scroll through the games. I think you listed a lot of these first ones. And there's Driver San Francisco, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Prince of Persia, Forgotten Sands,
Yeah, I'm
Rayman
scrolling
Legends,
down it for them right now.
etc., etc. Now, we did some pre-show digging, We looked through some stuff. There's some oddities in here. I think what Ubisoft is really trying to communicate to people is that their own platforms are absolutely the worst. And if you ever want to play an Ubisoft game, you should play it anywhere else ever, or just don't play an Ubisoft game. The reason for that, as you can you can dive through here and see all of.
That's one of the reasons I have Starlink physical. And Rabbits and Mario Rabbits. I have that physical. The reason.
This, if you scroll down to Splinter Cell Blacklist, there's something really interesting. If you look at what happens to PC, it says you are unable to play multiplayer, link Ubisoft accounts in-game, or use online services. If you look at Splinter Cell Blacklist for console, it doesn't say you can't play multiplayer. That is a consistent theme throughout pretty much all of this. If the multiplayer is handled by consoles, it's fine. If it's handled by Uplay, you can't do it anymore. And that is trash. And literally just means you're bad. So stop doing it. Start putting your games on like Steam or something. And if you're going to decom something, decom Uplay, because it's garbage. You are the worst one out of all of them. Give up.
Worse than Origin?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean,
what does Uplay do better than Origin?
Well, I mean,
download rates are faster on Origin.
Yeah.
Origin's actually stable. I don't think EA has decommed games off of it.
They have.
Origin, the platform, is better than like EA games.
Okay. Let me play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
If I am Ubisoft and I have specific infrastructure set up to run multiplayer for these games that functionally nobody is playing multiplayer
that takes borderline no maintenance.
Who
and
plays
essentially zero server space.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate. You're making it very difficult.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm
my
advocating
job.
for the devil, so you gotta at least let me talk. Okay, I have to maintain these online services that are specific to these games, to these titles. Functionally, no one is playing them. I mean, who is playing Assassin's Creed 2 multiplayer?
Probably no one.
Literally, probably nobody is playing Assassin's Creed 2 multiplayer.
I would argue there are alternatives.
Okay, can I finish, Luke? I want to advocate for the devil here.
Okay.
I have a hard enough job as it is without you interrupting constantly. Why wouldn't I take those resources and reallocate them? As a developer, as someone who leads a development team, what is pretty much the worst?
Sorry.
Really mature. What is literally the worst, like, anchor that drags back current development?
Just code rot maintenance stuff like that.
Maintenance,
for sure.
And are there potential security concerns with having these services running when they are not being maintained?
Probably very minor ones, but probably yes.
Probably. Okay, so devil's advocate, is it not in the best interest of the current game player base that they discontinue these services for older games that nobody is playing?
The best interest that they don't do anything.
I'm advocating for
the
f***ing devil.
What
am I supposed to do?
I don't think this is an extensive amount of work, to be completely honest, considering, as far as I can tell, the console maintainers just don't care at all. Because like if Ubisoft, and we'll talk about not caring at all a little bit more later when we start talking about Space Junkies specifically, but if Ubisoft is discontinuing support for multiplayer, you think the consoles would be like, oh sweet, we get to drop it too? As far as I can tell, they genuinely don't care, because it is such a small amount of work. It is so small. It takes so little. There's even little things like, oh, the ability to download DLC is being turned off. Why? Why? That's not a multiplayer feature. I can almost understand the multiplayer stuff. No, I can definitely understand the multiplayer stuff more, right? There's more maintenance that goes into it. There's more of this other kind of stuff.
This is just a file download. Okay, my devil's advocate hat is off. The answer is legislation that makes it so that the user owns the software. Because the fundamental problem right now is that when you buy a game...
And here we go with this again. See, that's what I'm saying. I'll let Linus go. Legislation. Again, don't give the power to the freaking government. Because again, when they get in there, they're going to F things up. I'm an advocacy of we should figure this shit out on our own. Don't let the government get in this shit.
Game, you are not buying a copy of the game. You are buying a license to use the game, whatever state it happens to be in. And that's the way that the software industry as a whole has managed to slowly but surely push things, because it gives them a much greater degree of control. If I was someone who was super into Anno 2070, for example, and I wanted to play multiplayer Anno, darn it, my only option now is to either play an older game from back when there were alternate multiplayer options, and it is possible. I actually don't know. I haven't tried multiplayer Anno 2070. It's possible there is a LAN multiplayer, although I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't.
I will say, you and I,
Hamachi or something.
You and I have both played Anno a fair amount at this point.
Yep.
I've played a lot less than you, but still, you have exposed to me that the Anno developers seem to be quite beloved by the community.
Yeah, they care.
People like them. Very not interesting if you know that, but I think a lot of people that don't play Anno don't know that, is Ubisoft Mainz, the studio behind Anno, are working on upgrading the aged online services infrastructure to a new system. They're not guaranteeing that it's going to be successful, but it is not surprising to me and makes me quite happy that like the Anno team is like, oh geez, we should try to save this.
So the problem is that publishers are basically in control. They're creating these situations.
Again, something I've been talking about on my channel from day one about the publishers and developers. Funny how that is, again, the champ is here, man. The champ is here. That's why the kids love the champ. Love the champ, because that's what I've said that from the get-go. You go back to my 2014 videos and I talk about this. But that's just the point. And you go and watch the rest of the video. I don't want to stress this out longer. You could go. My point of this in that regard was, again, this is why I said gaming is going to go a certain way. I'm antiquated. I'm old school. I'm deleted. I'm not a part of this. I don't care about the argument. That's why I've said when we had the NCAST a while back, I don't care about the console wars no more. Never had it really, but I didn't give a rat's ass about the console wars. Funny now, a lot of people ain't talk about the console wars now because of, oh wait a minute. What was it? Oh yeah, because Sony and Microsoft ain't got nothing to really push out that much now. Funny how that works, doesn't it? You know what? I might do one more video just for the hell of it, since this video is already done freaking long. And we talk exactly about this. This is how they do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna find this and play this video. It's a video that needs to be talking about. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there you go.
Price of.
Okay, so I'm gonna play this video, which is quick. And again, I mostly agree with everything because again, this is something that I am with as well too. But
Coke, the Union and the Confederacy, and yes, Sony and fucking Microsoft. Oh sure, you can fire people for not getting the goddamn jab, lock them indoors, burn down their cities, steal their votes, and even laugh at their fucking faces about doing so, but put your dainty little digits anywhere near our plastic brick of choice, and it's on like Donkey Kong, provided you buy the right plastic brick, of course.
Of course.
How overblown is the reflexive fanboy acrimony over video game consoles, you inquire? Put it this way, I started out in political radio all the way back in 2003, transitioned to a YouTube show about action movies and the Vidya, and ultimately began discussing current events there as well over 2 separate contentious election cycles. And I can tell you unequivocally and unreservedly, the most violent, white-hot, melt-your-fucking-facial-hair hatred I get from the public is invariably video game-related.
That's why I said when they talk about, oh, the Smash Brother, it's toxic as hell. I'm sorry. A lot of these people have done y'all just messed up your own hobby with this bullshit.
matters of mortal consequence, immigration, abortion, whether or not to send an entire generation of young men to be ground to a fine pink powder for the money laundering leeches in the Ukraine. More crickets than an Amy Schumer audience. Some impassioned debate for fucking sure, but dare to suggest Elden Ring isn't the culmination of all human creativity, you'll be dodging bullets by the end of your first fucking sentence. Tell me I'm lying, bitch. It's sort of like how everyone in their pee-pop is paying attention to whether Amber Heard has corn kernels in her turds, then they are even remotely concerned by the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell's sentence was just reduced, or by the fact that according to the court system, one woman was apparently culpable for an entire transcontinental kitty fucking network without a solitary one of her thousands of elite gazillionaire clientele even being called in for questioning. Let's just say where priorities are concerned, the public has more issues than Playboy. And so the console wars subsist solely on the clannish collectivism of a loyal legion of unwaveringly allegiant troglodytes.
And for those, because I know sometimes I play these videos, raise this videos before, a lot of people like who this guy is and they don't catch it. Basically, he's just saying is like, yeah, we have more shit that we need to worry about and are doing horrible things we don't care about, but we care about the stupid things. That's basically what it is.
A phenomenon that's long since transitioned from the cute and clever competitive marketing of Sega and Nintendo to a sad 30-something civil war with the intensity of the Rodney King riots and the unbridled societal stakes of a fucking Toyota-thon. The latest salvo in the micro Sony siege, the Xbox Series X and S has apparently outsold the PlayStation 5 in a single fucking week in fucking Japan.
Exactly.
Don't bust a gut at that, bitch. You and I both know there are people, or at least what science loosely classifies as people, right now, as I record this rant, furiously debating the meaning and merit of this development as if America's monetary system hinges entirely on the ready availability of fucking Mario hats. The true causes of this reversal, I think, are somewhat more multifaceted. Yes, Sony is censoring the shit out of Japanese releases in particular. Yes, they've relocated to California with the commie politics to match. Yes, their game library is emptier than the stage at a Ramones reunion.
All stuff that I've said on this daggone channel.
And all these, in addition to the PS5 being the size of a fucking suitcase, doubtless made the slimmer Xbox Series S somewhat more appealing in Japan, at least this week. A country where space is at such a premium, I'd remind you, you can literally sublet a sardine can. Sony fans aren't just getting fucked these days, they aren't even getting fucked in the ass. They're getting savaged in the cornhole with a money-cocked veinier than Janice Dickinson's neck. Made all the more motherfucking hilarious by the fact that both abroad and in America, Sony and Microsoft are fighting tooth and dentures over a distant second place in the market, as Nintendo has been a dominant fucking first since the introduction of the Switch and have been printing rolling mountains of money all the while.
And the thing that came about it, have you heard more of the console war shit now compared to a couple years ago with the Wii U? No, because their favorite plastic brick is not up to the top. Am I surprised? Not really. Not really. That's why I say I don't give a damn about the console wars. I know, but if the Switch doesn't do good and they have another console coming generation, quote unquote generation next that comes out with more, maybe it will be more digital. Nintendo might not be on top. And I'll say this, just like with Wii U. So what? As long as I get good games to play, I don't give a rat's ass. I'm not arguing that that this Switch is the better console, blah blah blah. Just give me games. Give me what I have money. You have games. You have a console. I give you money for console games. Give me that. That's all I ask for. And also that it doesn't work and broken games and all the other shit. That I normally put into it. But I'm just making it a very simple thing right now.
I mean, am I the only one wondering how you even have a console war without any fucking consoles? I've never even seen a PS5 in person, and the only systems I've seen stocked over the past 2 years were the Switch and the Series X, and neither with anything approaching regularity. I'd have a better shot of finding a designated driver at Oktoberfest than buying a console in the console section at Kmart. Or for that matter, finding a fucking Kmart. There have been more confirmed sightings of Chupacabra than PS5 and Series X. More to the point, isn't comparing sales figures for consoles no one can fucking buy a bit like counting the deck chairs on the Titanic? At this point, all sales figures are really measuring is who can shit product out incrementally quicker than the other guy. And frankly, both companies are in dire need of Dulco lax. Between supply problems, the Kung Flu, and more chip shortages than Lena Dunham's pantry, rolling out a new console in 2022 is like trying to sell a space heater on the sun, which makes the slavering drones stumping for either company all the more weapons grade cringe. When you really distill this conflict to its essence, what we're watching is two starving mice far beneath the dinner table shrieking, "My table scraps are far more filling than your table scraps," while the Nintendo and PC master race gorge themselves on a 5-course fucking buffet up top. But my issue with the fucking fanboy wars isn't that it's more cringe than a fleet of fucking furry conventions, although it is. It's not even that it's merely annoying. What I resent is the underlying implication that Sony, Microsoft, and even Nintendo don't even have to earn your loyalty by actually performing a feat. They simply have it by fucking default. Even if you utterly adore the PlayStation or the Xbox, you must wrap your actively malfunctioning brain around the fact that the worst thing you can do for anyone, be it a company, companion, or fucking family member, is to hold them to no standard whatsoever. For at that point, you have formally transitioned from foot soldier in a fucking pointless console war to an enabler of Jim Sterlingian proportions. But I don't want to bash on old Sterling too hard. From what I understand, he's one of the richest men on YouTube, at least if you go by square inch.
If you go by square inch.
I'm Razor Fist.
Oh, God.
Fucking speed.
That is funny. That is funny. That is funny. Oh my goodness. That's my point. I'm so fat. That's literally my point on that. I don't care for the console war shit no more. I just don't. Yes, I will call out certain things like I said with Nintendo and all this stuff like that. But again, I've called out Nintendo on their crap before. I've done videos on it. So this is not me defending Nintendo like that they're the greatest gaming company in the world by far. But nah, again, they have the missteps. I've talked about it. But the thing about it is, you gamers have put this on yourselves. Y'all play games for, like I said, you do it for the clicks, your YouTube, your Twitches, and all this stuff. And this is what you're gonna get. And funny enough, again, remember I did a video when Capcom they copyright strike my my Capcom video, not the one recently, the one the 5 one when I was talking about stuff like that. They done that too. I've done the videos about that. So again, Nintendo does it. Every company mostly have done it. When Battlefield was going shitty, didn't EA did it? When things wasn't going great for Activision, wasn't they doing the same thing too? Oh wait, yeah, yes they were. So sorry, Linus and you guys. Again, to me, it is flipping crazy. Y'all think that, like you said in the video, Anthony. Yes, it's all right. You could do that, but the problem is though, when people. Not everybody is good, and they will turn it into what it is. And it's kind of weird that you put that again. Why would you put up something that proves the opposite point that you're proving about the whole Bowser game when they gotta pay $10 million? That's so weird. They won that case. Nintendo won that case. It's just that the guy can't pay it because it's so much money, and he should have never done it in the freaking first place. Him and the other where the mom and pop wanted it. No, you shouldn't do it. If you want to do it for yourself, that's all cool. It's just like I say, hey, I want to fix. Example, cars. I have 2 cars downstairs. I know if I alter one of the cars in a certain way, I lost my warranty. I'm not gonna be bitchy. Oh well, it's crappy that Toyota don't want to do this, whatever. I avoided their warranty by doing modification. I take responsibility onto that shit. I take responsibility onto that. If I didn't do nothing like I did with the car I'm currently driving now, that's why I got things to get fixed all the way up to now. And I had my car for 7 years, yeah. Still drive good, hell, still worth a lot of money in the economy we have right now. Still drive good, still wear clean. Hell, my girlfriend and me, I was downstairs changing the oil. My sister called my car, and I told my girlfriend to give me the wrench circle, change the oil, whatever. She looked at my car, and she's like, figures. I'm like, what do you mean figures? She said, of course your car underneath will look clean. I'm like, yeah, because I take care of what I take care of what I bought. It's my money. I take care about it. Even if I gotta avoid, do something, whatever, I know the consequences of what I'm doing if I'm avoiding a warranty or avoid a system. So, yes, Nintendo has a right to protect their IPs. It's the #1 company out there. That most of their IPs is basically what makes Nintendo worth billions of dollars. Sorry, Sony and Microsoft can't do that. Sony going down the shitter, as you just saw. And Microsoft, again, my thing with Microsoft is this. You bought all these studios. Where the freaking games, man? Where the games? That's all I'm asking. You bought all these studios. You ain't done shit to me. Hell, y'all brought out that Battletoads. Not the best Battletoads I ever seen, and I didn't buy it. I looked at the video gameplay and I was like, nah, Turtles was done the right way. That's how you do this stuff. But again, just had to do this mic check because it's just ridiculous out there how these people do this. Yes, it's a long video. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to talk about this. So in that regard, let's call it as it is. This is also a video. It's not live or nothing. I record it. I'm going to put it up for people out there. And I apologize for that. I've been doing that lately. But again, I have so much stuff going on in my life. It ain't a joke. With that said, hope you guys enjoy those games out there. And check out the music videos I added out to the jukebox. And added some of the reviews I've done of indie games and stuff like that. Check out all the stuff that we're talking on the channel. And we'll catch you next time. Remember, there's no perfect game out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy your game on all consoles, including PC. Peace out.